Well, I'm on the farm here today, and it's right gusty and windy. It's otherwise a beautiful day. It's a little bit cool, and had some friends come out, and they brought me a hay elevator, a John Deere hay elevator, and it's just sitting here in two pieces. I'm not sure. This is the first time I'm really looking it over, but right there's the nameplate, Type 33, and I believe these John Deeres, I want to say that you could put intermediate sections, from what I've read, between this end piece and this long piece here, and I think you can make it much longer than it is presently. But nonetheless, I need to kind of evaluate what kind of condition it's in. Certainly it's in better shape than the elevator we got, which is just broken all to pieces. So let me try to take this piece and unfold it out to that end, and I might try to drag this whole elevator up on top of that stack of hay and take a better look-see. So what I'm trying to do here is to get this section right here unfolded, and I'm trying to be careful so that I don't twist this chain. I want to be sure and unfold it, you know, in the right direction, so that when I get it stretched out over there, the chain will be running flat and not kind of knotted up like that. So let me keep going. So what I've done here, knowing nothing about nothing, is I've rolled this thing over where the electric motor's on the top, and what I want to do is have the chain oriented so that this will set up in this tray. And I believe that when I take this section right here and flip it over, not sure which direction to flip it over. Obviously that's the end down there, and this is what plugs into the frame over there. But basically I want this channel to be turned up just like that one, and kind of see what I got. So what I've done here is I've kind of unhooked the chain from wrapping around the ends of this elevator, and instead of doing any flipping over, you know, like that, I've rolled it up on its side and slid it down this way. And what I need to do is the tray is, the upside is here, and I need to kind of lay that over, and then I'm probably going to pull this whole thing up in here a little bit to kind of get it off my baler and that wagon frame. I'm wrestling this hay elevator up onto this hay. I want this end to be up around here, and I want that end to plug in down there. But and it's really heavy, and I'm doing everything I can to throw my back out right before hay season starts. I mentioned earlier in the video that I thought these John Deere hay elevators were sectional, and you could buy a piece to put between that end and this end. Well, it turns out this is one of the sections, and so this is right instructive for me on how to put that section back on that end, because I don't know if you can see, but there's a seam right there, and a couple bolts holding that together. So that helps me out a lot as far as figuring out how to get this side and this side together. So let me keep going. All right, I've got this thing laid out here on top of this hay, and I've got this pulled down. I need to work the chain down the top. I've already started working the chain on the bottom across these little guides. And you know, I need to get this. And what I'm gonna have to do is to flip that end piece over a time or two, and that'll relieve these kinks. And then I think I can stretch the whole thing out and get the remainder of this chain out from under it and up on top. So we'll see what happens. The good news is this piece is pretty easy to roll around compared to this longer piece. This is probably 1/3 shorter, and it doesn't have an electric motor hanging off. I'm just kind of taking a guess that each one of these sections are 8 feet, and this is a 24-foot elevator. I'll give it a measure when I get done here. Alright, what I've done here is I've set this elevator frame up on a bale of hay, and it's a little tedious trying to lift this thing up, you know, try to pull these chains out. And so maybe that'll make it a little easier. And you can see that one I've got back on the track on the bottom, and I want to see if I can get this top one in the tray, move my way down, and then figure out which way I need to turn this thing in order to take a couple of kinks out of this chain. All right, slowly making progress. And one dilemma that I've got is, how do we get that chain over the end of that roller? And I think what I got to do is pull this thing up and bring the chain, the loop of chain, over the side and onto that roller, and then I think I'll have it. At that point, it's just a matter of do I need to flip it one more time, but definitely making progress. Right, I think I'm kind of sort of close. I've got the kinks out on the bottom and on the top, and I've actually looped this thing over to get it onto that sprocket. And I believe what I got to do next is take that end and loop it around on the back side of that, so that the top of this runs on the top of the track. And I don't know, I might have it all messed up, but I'm still working at it. Well, that was wrong. That was wrong the way I had it. I needed to loop off of this return here back up to this, somewhere down along in there. So still kind of wrestling with it a little bit. Good news is this sprocket seems to turn. It's got a grease zerk on it. I'll be looking at the parts lists on these things and the manuals, scouring the internet for all kinds of questions about setup and operation, and feel free to leave in the comments if you have any suggestions. And got to check out that electric motor. So we got a little bit of work here to do, and of course we got a bent frame here I need to straighten out somehow. But like I said, it's better than the elevator that we have, which is at this point nothing more than scrap metal. Alright, so after a little bit of scratching my head, I got this elevator straightened out, and of course the biggest thing was just getting the chain. I think if I'd have just unrolled it the way it came in, it'd have probably been fine, but in my infinite wisdom, somehow or another I managed to get the chain tangled up a little bit. And but it's a 24-foot elevator, John Deere. I believe I saw on the tag model 33, and I think the chain's in pretty good shape. There's still some green paint on it, which I guess is good. There's a couple of these that are bent. I need to go need to go across all these and straighten them out. The one thing I couldn't find was a master link, and I'm assuming that there is, but maybe that's just not the way this chain's constructed. I got to dig into it. I know nothing about this hay elevator and what kind of chain it's got on it. I do know that that sprocket is free and it's got a grease circ on it, and I know that the sprocket down here, I know that this sprocket is free, and there's actually a chain on the back side, a small chain that goes from that big sprocket on the belt, this sprocket right here. There's a chain, and need to lube that up, see what I got. But nonetheless, got to straighten out the frame up there and work on the connection points a little bit. But nonetheless, we sold a hay elevator, and we got one. I think we can put some elbow grease on it and maybe make it work. It'll be interesting once we start conveying hay, whether the chain will hold up, or, you know, we'll keep an eye on the sprockets and the bearings. I've got an infrared thermometer, and you know, the last thing we want in this barn is a bearing getting really hot with all this hay. And so we'll be, you know, we'll be looking after that. And I'll probably buy another motor. I don't think I'm going to fool with that one. And I want a motor that's will not let a spark out. And I know what they're called, and I'm drawing a blank. But again, it gets down to safety and having this elevator in this barn. And so, you know, we're hoping we can pull our wagons in and conveyor hay right off the wagons, and hopefully take it all the way to the top. Now, whether that'll really happen, that remains to be seen. I reserve the right to change my mind, and I do that all the time. And so, in any event, that's the video on our new to us hay elevator, and we'll talk to you later.